What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be reviewing round 14, Port Adelaide versus Gold Coast, in a very comfortable 50-point win, 81 to 31. It was a pretty dominant performance throughout the day, one that most of us pretty much expected to happen, and a good response from last week's loss to Geelong after an 8-day break, and Robbie Gray's 250th, which for him unfortunately didn't end up too well at all, but we'll get straight into that. Let's review what was a pretty good performance by ThePear. Well, you know what, to be honest, there's not a lot to say about this game. It's, pretty stock standard. I think a lot of us, in fact all of us, probably expected that type of performance, to come out against the Suns. They were always going to be quite plucky, I thought, and well, they didn't throw up any effort at all, and Gold Coast were quite dismal throughout the day, and it's unfortunate for them and their 10 fans that they couldn't put in a better effort, but besides that, I think Shuey Jew's crew, they've got a lot of talent in there, and players like Rankin, Lukosius, Took Miller's unreal, and they've got a lot of components right, but I think they're just not ticking the boxes, and compare that to a Port Adelaide outfit that are right in the mix for this year. Well, we all think we're in the mix, but unfortunately on most occasions this year we haven't fronted up to that quite as well as we'd like. So I think based on the performance yesterday against the Suns, you can say there's a lot of things that we can tick in those boxes that suggest we were right. We got our contested footy going okay. I think Ollie Wine said after the game, and he was dominant, 43 possessions. I mean, the bloke's in unreal form at the moment, and he's living up to the potential we saw over the last 8 years in glimpses, and now he's putting it in every single week, and it's so good to see. But a 43 possession game, and he did state after the game that the midfield was a little bit lacking in certain areas today, and I could definitely see that. And I think the main thing for our midfield is just to keep getting that mix right. We're throwing in Amon in there, we're throwing in Houston, you got Drew, Boak and Wines in there as well, and well, Robbie Gray goes in there, but now he won't be because he went down, and I'll get to that in a sec, but I think, just got to find that mix. Having Lysette back really worked well. I think his movement around the ground is exceptional, and his presence and his body around the contest just makes us look a little bit better, a little bit more competitive in there, so it's just about getting that mix right, and hopefully we do find that, and especially next week against the Swans, who have a pretty good midfield outfit, we'll definitely have our work cut out in there again. Robbie Gray, I want to touch on him because obviously he was the main focus. It was his 250 games, hashtag 250 shades of grey. An unreal performer throughout the last 249 games for the club. He's been an unreal servant and continues to battle away, and unfortunately his game was cut short yesterday due to a medial strain. And look, that could be anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks if everything goes okay, which means he'll be back in time for finals. But just that it's so unfortunate. The footy gods are not watching out for Robbie Gray at all. It's just unfair to see that such a champion of the game, he's such a brilliant performer, and a clutch man. He just, so many words to describe Robbie Gray, and for us to see that in his 250th, to go down with a knee injury, and he was looking good. I mean, his 9-10 disposals that he had, he was crafty, he was creating opportunities. That spin in the first quarter, we got the handball off, and Georgiadis unfortunately missed it, and that quick handball through the contest, and the mark early on, all these little things were adding up, and he was looking like he was going to have a big day, and it's just unfortunate. It's pretty sad to see that he will miss a few weeks now, and it's going to hurt our dynamic up forward. I think he's very, he takes the number one small defender, and now the number one small forward for us at the moment is Connor Rosie, which is amazing to see that in the space of 2 weeks his form has turned around, which is a good thing, because I guess with someone like Robbie going down, that you need someone to stand up and perform when such a talented guy goes down with an injury. That you have a guy like Connor Rosie stand up and kick a 3 or 4 goal performance and have 19-20 touches, which is the Robbie Gray aspect of it. Getting plenty of the ball, a lot of score involvements, and being able to hit the scoreboard yourself. Which leads me to the overall performance of the day. And look, the effort was there. I think for me personally, I've been pretty lenient on these types of performances because I'm just happy to get the win. We keep ticking the boxes. 50 points helps our percentage in the fight for the top 4. I think what hurts a little bit is the fact that we couldn't put in a 4-quarter performance. 3 quarters was exceptional, and then the last quarter, you lose the quarter. I know we had 2 injuries with Lachie Jones and Robbie Gray both going down, and Hamish Hartlett came on as the med sub, was okay, and I think he stays in the side now with Lachie Jones going out. It's that ruthless mentality for me that, I know we're trying to be conservative. We've already got a big injury list, and they're all fair points, and I completely agree with them. And I'm, to keep a reserve and not use up all that energy in the last quarter, save the legs a bit and take the foot off the pedal. I get that, and I understand that, but we've been doing it too many times this year against the top teams, the bottom teams, and when it comes to that playing of the top teams, we don't have that ruthless edge, which gives us that extra 10%, because I think it links in with taking the foot off the pedal. We don't have that top 4 mentality of where we should have belted Gold Coast by 80 points in the end. And look, it probably should have been more than 50 points regardless of the injuries, even before 3-quarter time. To have 57 inside 50s for the day. Gold Coast had 52. Majority of those almost in the last quarter. That's 44% efficiency going inside 50 for Port Adelaide. That's 21 scoring shots, 57 total inside 50s, and only 12 goals. I think it should have at least been 3 or 4 more. Charlie Dixon had a couple of opportunities. He should have probably kicked a bag in the end. 4 or 5 goals. He had pretty simple shots on goal, and he was good in the contest. A delivery inside 50 was pretty good. We were picking off the short targets a little bit more than we normally do, but at the same time, there's a couple of instances where I remember in the 3rd quarter, Ollie Wines broke through the pack, runs towards 60, and Charlie Dixon's 2-on-1, and he puts it in front of Charlie, who's the 3rd in line. So you had Charlie and then the 2 defenders, which is pretty poor decision making going inside 50. And the same in the last quarter. Darcy Ben-Jones, on a link of a handball chain, unreal it was to see him running and carrying the ball, and then kicks it to 4-on-1 Gold Coast defenders, and take your pick on who wants to take the mark. So it's just those little things that do add up, and we've seen it in the big games. And I'm not trying to be too negative about this performance. I think there's a lot of positive. Our back 6 was exceptional. Lear. Whoever runs the Channel 9, Footy on 9, Twitter and social media pages, seriously, get a grip. To say that he has had a drop-off in the last few weeks, and I know he would have seen that because he mentioned it in the post-game interviews, the last few weeks haven't been up to standard. That's a lot of crap. That they've come out with this comparison of 8 to 13 rounds, and then give 1 to 8 where he's been phenomenal. To have a drop-off of 0.1 of an intercept possession is bullshit. He comes out yesterday. He answers that critic regardless. 20 possessions, 12 intercept possessions. He had 388 metres gained, which is almost 100 more than normally would get. He was intercepting everything. He was punching the ball. His one-on-one performances were electric. And the best part was he broke through 4 Gold Coast players like they were statues and hit Ollie Wines, and then Ollie Wines hit Lysette bang on the chest. Don't say to me that he is dropping off, because he is arguably still one of the best defenders in the comp right now. And you can have a drop off. You're not going to keep that same level, but you don't call it out. So that's pathetic. It's just, it grinds my gears. I know everyone is entitled to an opinion, but don't call it an expert opinion. Because it's like calling mine an expert opinion, and I'm not an expert. I'm just giving my thoughts on the game. And if people want to listen, they can listen. If not, it doesn't matter. It grinds my gears that you wonder why we have so many mental effects on this game for stupid posts like that. In hindsight, pretty simple game, and I've rambled on about other things, but simple game of footy. Tick, get the win it for Robbie. Ollie Wines exceptional. Defence unreal. Good to see Motlop back in a bit of running form. Amon great. Boak, I didn't even notice him when he had 25. It's. I think we're waiting for that game still. where we play 4 quarters of hard Port Adelaide footy and just everything clicks. Whether that's next week against Sydney, I hope so, because that is a big game at the Adelaide Oval on a Saturday night where we need to beat a top 8 side just to give ourselves a bit of confidence in that monkey off the back type attitude that will probably come up when it comes to playing Sydney next week. Well, that's my review of Gold Coast. Not a lot to say. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the game in general. I thought it was quite boring, but it was good to see us dominate a side. Simple as that, really. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content. Plenty to come this week. I look forward to bringing you all of that when we play Sydney next week against O'Leary Liz Old Mob. It's going to be fun. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Anthony, and as always, ThePear.